Hey everybody, welcome back to Quali-Tea time. So, I have an uncharacteristically, in fact, long list of news for today. So the first thing, of course, is the front door has been fixed. So, if you caught me last time, I mentioned that, well, the front door over there for the entire building, that is right behind basically every piece of audio equipment that I own, was more or less hanging down on its hinges, and that was causing it to require some significant manhandling to try and get back into position. Thankfully, that has now in fact been fixed, and actually it closes better now than it did before it was actually broken. This has not, however, greatly reduced the amount of noise that the other tenants in the building make slamming it, but at least it's easier to close. And unto that, we have all of the paperwork and all of the economics and everything neatly lined up for the purchase of Fox Den Beta. So we should be getting the keys for that ostensibly the day that you see this vlog. Fingers crossed on that, because there may still be some feet dragging, we'll find out. Very hopefully, we'll actually be able to get into the new place, and I have also managed to get Fuzz's DSLR camera up and running again, so it doesn't shoot video, but you might actually get some snapshots of the place as we are doing it up over the course of the next month or so. Did anybody happen to enjoy Dungeons & Dragon hats? Well, really, no? Okay, well, that's bad news. But hey, if you did happen to enjoy that by any strange metric, we do have more of that in the works. We have a new player, we have a new campaign. The details precisely on when it will be starting up is still to be determined, but everyone is very excited, in part because I'm giving them guns this time. Otherwise, if you enjoyed the previous campaign, where we were just, trekking across a sort of Australian wasteland with very strange creatures on our tails. It's not finished, it's not cancelled, it's still there, we can go back to it. It's been a fair bit of time now since the last time we had a D&D session, and in a lot of cases since any of us did D&D, my more or less only experience with D&D since that last stream of D&D Dragon Hats was doing the Dairy Weather and Dart pieces on the carousel. But yeah, we figured we're probably all a little bit rusty, so we're gonna have a nice fresh start with some just vanilla rules and just get back into the swing of things with that, and we may go back to that campaign at a later point. But for now, we've got this brand new one that's going to be kind of interesting and fun too. Also, in regards to the streaming, I'm changing around a bit how the donation goals are used. The donation goals are the things that show up as a bar on the bottom of the intermission screen. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start every month setting that to be Lion gets to eat this month, or something of the equivalent. And that will be set to the value necessary for covering any expenses that are anticipated in that month that is not already covered by working tax credits, which I get from the government, and Patreon itself, which is wonderful, wonderful people. When that goal, I'd say if and when that goal is completed in a given month, a longer-term, less vital goal will be put up, and that will just reset at the end of the month as well, to go back to the vital ones. And that will be for things that we don't necessarily need. That'll be for emergency expenses that crop up and render us bankrupt once again. I say once again, we haven't yet, because you're all wonderful. So that could be things like getting some new equipment, or attending a convention, or actually going on holiday for the first time in, nearly 20 years for me. Or it might be saving up towards surgeries. So, yeah, that's on my list. It's things that won't be, if we cover the first goal, everything else from the donations can just go straight into my savings, which will then be allowed to put forward to longer term kind of things. Currently, I believe the donation goal is set to just covering any unexpected moving expenses. We're very near to Fox Den Beta, so it shouldn't be too high, but we do have to, of course, renovate the place as well, so there's that. There's one or two pieces of furniture we'd like to grab as well. And as I feel immediately flush, the heat in the UK is spiking again. So we are still in the middle of this heat wave, and it's been ebbing and flowing a bunch, and right now it's going through one of the flowing parts again, which is not so much a problem with my office when the door is open, but bear in mind there's no ventilation in here otherwise. There's no window or anything, so when that door is closed, such as when I'm live streaming or recording something, including this, the temperature very rapidly climbs in here, and that is somewhat limiting my capacity to record based pretty dominantly exclusively on my just sheer endurance capacity. If there's a slight dearth of videos, that's why. It's because I am melting into this seat. But other than that, onto the schedule. On Thursday night, 11 PM BST, we have more Midnight, where we're playing a bit more solo Dead by Daylight before we cycle in for some StarCraft 2 next week. Then on Saturday at 9 PM BST, we have the carousel, spinning the wheel, for real, this time, to find out what random game we're going to be playing. And lastly for the week, on Tuesday, we have Building Blocks at 9 PM BST, where we're going to hop back into various oddities for a little bit to tinker with some new loot. And videos you might have missed for the week. We have an instance of Dailies by Daylight, where things are getting very weird with my footage from Dead by Daylight, but nonetheless the survivors take on Leatherface in the pursuit of an elusive triple stack, and Amanda graduates from Piggy High. And on to the questions. So, as always, these are drawn from the comment section of the preceding vlog. If you have anything to ask me, drop it down below. We'll see if it gets answered. Our one question of the week comes from, as ever, Chronicler Wolfram, asking, do you use statistics a lot when deciding what content to make and how? I probably don't use them as much as I should. If I was trying to make a bigger go of YouTube itself, then maybe, but YouTube itself seems to react to everything and nothing, so it's not really that easy to analyze with YouTube. Moreover, the capacity that I would require for YouTube to itself be worth spending that amount of time in is pretty absurd. I don't think I've had anything approaching that kind of capacity since like 2012, so yeah. And on the other hand, like, there's Twitch. Twitch is a lot easier to work with, because with Twitch it actually has, like, pages that show you everyone who's doing a certain thing, and it shows you, like, the most popular, like, things that are currently being broadcast, whether that's IRL, whether that's talk shows, whether that's Dead by Daylight, Overwatch, that kind of thing, and you can go in there and you can see, okay, this person is doing a stream doing that, I'll go watch them. Much more straightforward in ways of actually amping up your channel a bit more. But for the most part, what determines what I do with my content and such is, am I having fun with it, and am I finding it interesting? And if that gets good views, then great. If not, most people come to me to watch me. I am frequently told people enjoy me geeking out about things, because they love to see me being excited and having fun. I am told that people enjoy simply the tone of my voice, so the bulk of people watching my content aren't watching it for the content, so to speak, they're watching it for the me part. So, I don't put a great amount of stock in statistics. Statistics for me are a means by which I can potentially increase the audience, but the audience itself is sticking around. And also, thank you all to all of you for that. The vast majority of ways that I can expand my content and such is just making stuff that I can do well, and other people letting people know that I exist. Because, hey, that's been the way since the dawn of time. But that's it for now. I'm about to melt into a puddle, so this video definitely has to end about now. I've only been recording for like less than 10 minutes, that should give you an idea of how hot it is in here. But, thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed, I'll catch you all as ever next time.